You're looking at a rotary heat press. This is AIT's 6572, so this is part of the workhorse series of rotary heat presses that is designed for cut parts and rolls of print paper, as well as roll-to-roll transfer die sublimation printing. 6572, so it's 72 inches wide. It's really wider than that, more like 78-inch wide belt, so you've got a good 74 inches worth of working width. You're looking at the input table on the front of the machine. And just to explain a little bit about how this works, and there's an illustration that can be gotten from the sales team at AIT to show the web path. But here you have a front input conveyor that you can see, and there's an idler roller on the front of it. Down below that, the first station that you see in the first bar is an unwind station for print paper. So there's rolls of die sublimation print paper that's going to unwind over the top of the idler bar and down the conveyor belt, and the print side will be facing up. So operators will be able to load cut parts on top of the print paper as it goes down and into the machine. The second station that you see down below here is actually a rewind station. There's a motor in this sheet metal cover to rewind the used print paper once the process is finished. So that's when you're running rolls of print paper, which most people do, but this machine will also run sheets of print paper. In addition to that, it'll also run rolls of fabric. So this is an unwind station where you can unwind fabric down to meet the paper coming down the input conveyor and run this machine roll to roll. This is the front view. You can see the control panel and some of the controls here. It's a bright, beautiful day in Ball Ground. I think you can see that. Nevertheless, all pneumatic clutches and controls on this machine. So this is your operator panel on setting tensions for unwind and rewind. Also, each one of the rewinds has their own on-off switch. This is the controls for the air pressure. But each one of the rewinds also has a speed control, so it's variable speed. In this particular case, we've also got a variable speed and an on and off for the exit conveyor. I haven't talked about that yet, but you can see down here lower that an exit conveyor out of the same material as the input conveyor is where the finished printed parts go out the back of the machine. We'll see that in a moment. All the machines, all the 6500 series and our larger machines now come with a Schneider PLC touchscreen controls. So when you're firing the machine up in the morning, you have not only this light station to show you how everything is and it's working if there's a machine fault, but then here's the control interface. It's a nice touchscreen device that controls the whole operation, and there'll be another video that will go into great detail about this. You can see right now a couple things. One, this is coming up to temperature, so it's startup. And then also we've got something activated called slow speed. So this slow speed is used when you thread the machine up and you want to run slow and conserve materials. And then when you're finished and you're ready to go back to production speed, the operator can come here, push, that goes off, and you can see our line speed went back to, in this case, 3.1 linear meters per minute. That's a 30-second dwell time. So activating the slow speed is simple as touching and then taking it off. So the 6572 uses compressed air, and it's 220 volt 3-phase. Here's the side panel that houses a number of the components of the machine. Oh, by the way, here's an illustration web path that you can receive to go in greater detail here. You see a little bit of the drum there. This is a 24-inch diameter drum. It's oil filled, so it's a heated oil filled drum. Some of the other componentry that you see in here now is the belt tracking system. So these felt belts are tracked with a pneumatic steering roller. You're kind of looking at the brains of the operation there as it's detecting the edge of the belt, and it'll make an adjustment with this pneumatic cylinder and a steering roll that you can see moving now. That steers the belt back into the center position. Swing around here and show you that from the machine front. Here you can see the electronic eye detecting the edge of the belt. This is all fiber optic. And then behind it, kind of hard to see, but that top roller is the steering roller that steers it back into and tries to hold it in one position. Another new feature on all our equipment is we house all the electronics in a separate air-cooled cabinet. I'll show you that now. We've got all our motor controls. This has a full suite of Schneider PLC system in here. This one does not have a wireless card in it, but it can be outfitted with a wireless card for remote access. And here you can see the Schneider contactors, motor controllers, and all the electronic and electrical componentry. Even the main connection here is all housed in this air-cooled, separated control cabinet for the 6572. Quick look at the back of the machine here. I mentioned that exit conveyor earlier. So cut parts after printed come out the back of the machine, and an operator is stationed here to pick those up. Here's a compressed air entry, and in fact here is the technical data on this particular machine. 72-inch machine with a 24-inch diameter drum, and you can see it's going to pull 70 amps at 220 volt 3-phase. We got another control panel here on the back for our rewinds for our blotting tissue, and of course the pneumatics for the pneumatic clutches as well. These are on-off and variable speed drive. And then also here you're able to activate the exit conveyor and control the speed here so that that can be faster or slower. We try to make this about 10% faster than the print speed or transfer speed, so that it'll pull parts out positively and not accordion stack them. Two stations on the back you see. The top one is an unwind for the blotting tissue, and the second one is the rewind for blotting tissue. This other rewind station here is for when you're running roll-to-roll fabric. You would accumulate fabric here. We include a pneumatic one so that all of the mandrels can be filled up from this location, and that way the 3-inch ID core is completely filled, so that you're really unlimited on the amount of tension that you want to apply.